Good afternoon and welcome to Friday with Fiona. I thought I was ready, but you know how it goes, best laid plans. So I just want to share something with you before we get cracking. What's today? Today is the 27th, and so we have 28, 29, 30, 31, 4.5 days left for the 35%. Let me get rid of me. There we go. So I can show you. So the 31st, I think it's 11 o'clock, but I wouldn't risk leaving it till that late. You still got the offer for 35% off or 35% more. The 35% off takes the starter kit down to £64.35, just incredible. And you will join an amazing community of people who love Stampin' Up and love crafting. The same if you spend £99 and you get to choose £175.50 worth of stuff. So much to choose from. It's really difficult. We've got the mini catalogue, we've got the annual catalogue, and we've got the online exclusives, which I've had some arrive today. I'm just going to very quickly, I don't know what that was. Okay, share these with you. So Fluffiest Friends, which is a stamp set, a cling stamp set and matching dies, and Garden Meadow stamp set and matching dies. And there's also some designer series paper which goes with that, which I haven't got yet. So I will have a play with that, but at the moment I'm focusing on Christmas. So this is week 2 of my 4 weeks of Christmas, and today we're focusing on the Merriest Trees, but we're also using this designer series paper, which is a walk in the forest. And I just wanted to explain to you about that. So on page 4 and 5 of the mini catalogue, this paper has been chosen by Stampin' Up. They always have one product which they use, they call it Making a Difference, and they donate a certain amount of the profits from that product. And this time it's this paper. And they're giving it to, with each purchase of a walk in the forest designer series paper, we'll make a donation of £2.50 to support organisations dedicated to spreading cheer and providing support to those in need. And I have to say, it is a beautiful paper. So we're using that today. Now, I've got a slightly different project for you today. I'm actually really excited about it. I love it. It was designed by Brenda Quintana, who's an American demo that I'm friends with online. She made it using the Berry Cute Suite, which I made, and it is lovely, but I didn't want to just copy her. And you know what? I thought the little tree, this tree, which is the littlest, smallest, sorry, terrible grammar, smallest tree, fits. So we'll get, that's going to be my last project. So we're going to start with the easiest. So we're using the dies and the stamp set, mainly the dies actually, I think, because I'm a little bit of stamping. This one has the stamping. The other one just has the sentiment stamping, and then the box has a mix of both. So this is the first one. It's unusual colours really for me for Christmas. I'm usually a traditional red and green girl. I have to say this autumn I've seen some amazing stuff in kind of like purple, light purples like Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather, and pinks and blues, and actually they're gorgeous. So it's kind of, you know, open my eyes. But anyway, this is Balmy Blue, Pretty Peacock and Real Red. Now when I was getting ready for this, which is why I'm running a bit late, I assumed this was stamped because it's so long ago since I made it. It was a retreat, an online retreat I did back in August, September, might have been September. I think it was September actually. So I thought it was stamped, and then I looked at the stamps and I couldn't work out, it didn't quite work. So then I thought, aha, it's the designer series paper, which it is, and it's this sheet with the bears on. So it's this one here, which I've obviously, well, that's in Garden Green, but I've got the Pretty Peacock one. So I have already die cut. I think most of my things is probably going to be something I've forgotten, in which case we'll just get the little mini out. But hopefully I've got everything ready, because the longest thing probably is going to be my little treat, which I'm really excited to share with you. So I've got hopefully everything ready. I've got a piece of the designer series paper. Also, just before we start, don't forget, all orders over £30 will receive the Class to Go kit for free if you use this host code. It's going along the bottom as well. So yeah, I would love to be able to send you the kit, especially this one, because it is going to have a surprise element, and I will send you everything you need to make for it. The only thing I can't send you is stamped images. So for example, the next card, we actually stamped the sentiment on the tree, because that's the way it's designed here. You see that? We wish you a Merry Christmas, and it's shaped like a tree. You don't have to have this set. You could use whatever you've got, but you'll have everything you need to make a Christmas card. So let's get all my bits. Hopefully they're all still there. And we're just going to start with our design series papers. So the other thing, when you get the kit, you'll get a full written tutorial with all the measurements and instructions. So if you want to make more, you can. I've also broken out the Christmas earrings today. It was really dark earlier and pouring with rain, so it kind of felt wintry. Then the sun came out. I didn't see the rainbow, but now the sun's out again, so who knows what's going on with the weather. Hey ho, but you know, it's October, what can you expect? Right, so just going to pop this designer series paper onto my card base. Now the card base is a regular half of A4, so 21 centimeters scored in half at 10.5 by 14.8, and then this piece of designer series paper, which is like snowy. I don't think there's a right or wrong, but I hope you can't hear. That's a Tesco van reversing. And I've cut that down so you get to see a little bit of the blue around the edge. Okay, then we've got our Christmas tree, which I die cut from the designer series paper. I have die cut the stand. I don't know if you can see in the light, it's like a wicker basket, so that's the stand. I've got a sheet of basic white here. I've got my tag to stamp my sentiment. I've got, now on this one I used them kind of like baubles, but I made a completely different card for something else, and I did them in, oh, what's it called, lemon lolly yellow, and did them as lights. So I'm going to do them slightly different, and I'd love your feedback. So I've got 3 presents and the little bows to go on the top. So they are a little bit fiddly and kind of likely to disappear. See, I've already lost a bow. There should be another bow there, but we'll worry about that later. Oh, for good. Oh, there it is. Actually, do you know what? So what I'm going to start with is a piece of basic white, which is the width of the whole card. In fact, it's a bit more, so I might need to trim that down. So that's 10 point. I'll do it afterwards. And all I've done, there are loads of sets. You may well have one where you can die cut. The alternative is to rip. So I'm just going to rip, and I try and like do it like it's a snowy, what do they call them? Not snow hills, I don't know what you call them. Anyway, and then it's a bit flaky. I'm not good with distressed stuff. I like things kind of clean, and that's a little bit, that bit at the end there is a little bit too, I think I must have used a dye on that one. But anyway, let's just get this bit, do it from this side. There we go. Okay, and then that's going to go across, but not from the bottom. Oh, I don't like this at all. I'd much rather use a dye, and I'm not into shabby chic at all, or messy stuff, those of you that know me. So how wide is that? I think I might need to trim that down a bit. Yeah, I need to cake a bit off that so I can take the edge off at the same time. So let me get my ruler, and that the highest part of that is in centimeters 4. I'll just do that. See if that's better. and then we'll take it off at that edge. So it needs to be 10.5. They're going to be covered up anyway, so it won't annoy me too much. Okay, so there we go. It's going to go along, not right to the bottom, and it's going to go right across the card. I'm just going to pop that on with my seal. The reason I'm not using Seal Plus is I've got very, very low on it. I think I've been doing a lot of prep lately, so I'm waiting for some to arrive. Here we go. And let's pop that on. So I want like a little bit of the blue to show at the bottom. Okay, so there's our snow. Right, so now I can put our basket and the tree, and then put the presents around it. So I just need my dimensionals. Oh, I keep losing my big, there we go. I've got my big dimensionals, but I need to get some more out. I don't want to go very far. Let's put the basket on first. Now, my husband's been going absolutely mental. Exaggeration. He gets really frustrated when there's bits of paper all over the house because the crafted and it's fallen on me and it's stuck to me, and I've got up and walked around the house and it's all fallen off. So these are little dessert pots. So I've started putting my backings in there. And so far, so good. So hopefully, and it's over to the right, but not completely over because I need to get a present in there, and not right to the bottom either. Okay, and I'll put my tree on. I know some demos would just put like 2 on here, but I can't. I'm sorry. Because it's paper as well, it's quite flimsy. So I'm sorry. And you see there's one there that's going to, no, that's okay, actually. Right, so I've got my pot ready. I'm going to put all my little backings in there, and then they hopefully won't end up all around the house. That's the plan. Whether it works or not is a completely different story. Go. Right, so let's put the tree above the basket, like, no, that's just, I thought I'd got it, but come on, you need to come back up. There you go. I love Pretty Peacock, and I was using it when it first came out, and I kind of haven't used it, but I do love it. It's kind of reminded me that I need to use it. Okay, so now we've got the presents to go around. Do you know what? That reminds me of the Red Cross flag, or is it the Swiss flag or the Norwegian flag? Anyway, it's a flag. So now this one already has a bow kind of in the stamp, so I'm not going to, I'm going to use my mini for these ones because they're quite diddy. Oh, I said that. I've been listening to David Hamilton on the radio. So Diddy David Hamilton. Okay, mustn't forget to use my pot. Right, where's that going to go? That's going right over to the edge here. Okay, and then the next one is the, I think it, oh, I don't know, it might even be the Danish flag. Stop waffling about flags, Fiona. There we go. And that's going to go next to it, and that is going to have a bow on it. So I just need a teeny bit of glue. I've been waiting for the tree across the road to change colour. We live in a cul-de-sac, yeah, close, so it's a cul-de-sac. And the trees, spring and autumn, it's absolutely beautiful. I think it's cherry blossom, and it's just turning that beautiful maple colour. So I will try and remember to take a photo and pop it on my page for you to see, because it really is beautiful. Right, so I've got 2 presents. Where's my third? There we are. And that one's going over here and slightly under the tree. And you know what? I dropped my, I've got 2 pairs of, what are these called? Tweezers, like crafting tweezers. I've got 2 pairs because I'm always putting them on my desk and burying them. So I've got a backup pair. And I was using one the other day and it was on the edge of my desk and I heard it fall and I heard it hit something. Well, I've looked everywhere and I can't find it. So I'm down to 1 pair of tweezers now. Look, there's a stray backing. Right, and then that one has a bow on it as well. So again, we need a tiny bit of glue. Unfortunately, I don't think I've got a long enough neck for these earrings because they keep hitting my chin. They are lovely though. Got candy canes on them, like embossed. I can feel them. Okay, so we've done our tree, we've done our presents. Now we'll do the fiddly bit, which now this die is amazing because you cut all your rows of lights or baubles, whatever, on one, but they come out in individual strips like this. So for example, this one is the shortest one. So if you drop that, it's really difficult to find. But also trying to glue that would be absolutely impossible. So that's where adhesive sheets absolutely come into their own. I'm probably going to need my take your pick tool. So, and this time on that one, I did it like, as I said, I did it like baubles, but this time I'm going to do it like lights. Now, I don't know about you, but when I do my lights on my tree, oh, it's a nightmare. But I have the tree in the middle of the room and I walk around it with the lights. So the way I'm doing this is as though this is kind of like the front of the tree and all the other lights are going around, so you don't actually see them. If you see what hopefully you'll see what I mean when I've finished. Okay, so my plan is, you see I've put them there. Let me show you a bit closer. I've put them there, they're now going round, and then the next one's going to go across there, and then across there, and then across there. So that's my plan anyway. And they are kind of in order of like descent from the top. But as I said, they're really fiddly. If you haven't got adhesive sheets on them, I really don't know how you would glue them down. I can't even get the adhesive sheet off. That's it. There we go. Right, so this one, so I've gone around there and it's coming down from there to there. And then the next one, I think, is that one. We have a tree, we have a bay window in the lounge, so we have a tree in the front window, and we always just have lights on it. It's just a little, I don't know, 3-foot tree. And they're lovely lights. I think we have at least 2 sets on there. They're from John Lewis, and they are baubles, and they are just different colours: red, orange, green, blue. Yeah, that might be it. Red, orange, green, blue. I can't think of any other colours. There's no pinks. But I just love it. We haven't had the big one up for a couple of years. I've asked one of my granddaughters to come down and help me do it this year because it's a lot of work. But it would be nice to have it up. And for me, when I get all my Christmas decorations out, it is like Christmas because we were both in the travel industry and we travelled a lot. And wherever we went, I would always buy a Christmas decoration. Used to drive my husband mad, but he kind of got used to it in the end. Right now, that's just about gonna do it. Okay, so I'm not sure which Do you know what that makes me think of now? A helter skelter. But hey ho, never mind. Right, I've lost my cap for that. There it is. Okay, so the last thing to do on this card, apart from the bow, let me get the ribbon out. This ribbon is gorgeous. It's in the mini catalogue, and it's just called sheer ribbon, silver and white sheer ribbon, and it is beautiful. So I just need to stamp love and joy. We could do something else. We could do to you and yours, although that's a very small. Hoping your home is filled with the spirit of the season. See how big to you and yours is. I think you need to have something else to go with that. So let's stick to my original because it fits. It fits the tag. So that is from the tailored tags. They've been around a long time actually. They're in the annual catalogue, and this is this. There's two different styles, and this is the smallest of one of the styles. Red. There we go. Got my embossing buddy ready because we're going to be doing some embossing in silver. Let's get that ribbon away from the red ink. I'm just going to put some Versamark on it because red really stains the stamps. Love and joy. And then you're actually not going to see the tag bit because it doesn't need any ribbon or anything to go through it. So let me just quickly clean that to try and get the red off. I know a lot of demonstrators don't mind, but it drives me mad. I think I must be a bit OCD. Not a bit, quite a lot OCD. So the Versamark really helps. So that's a trick. If you're using like a really dark colour or a colour that really stains, put some Versamark on first and then clean it really quickly. And it's a bit pink, but it's not nearly as red as my tree was because I've run out of cleaner. Right, let's pop that away. So I did stamp the presents, to show you. I stamped the presents in real red and then I stamped the two bows in balmy blue. You see what I mean about my tree being red? That's really, well, pink actually, but that was using real red. I'm not even sure what tree I did on that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, so we've got that. That's going to go in towards there with a couple of dimensionals. Maybe just, no, probably two actually. Let's see if I need to cut it. Oh no, that'll fit perfectly. Okay. Oh look, I haven't put my backings in my pots. I need to do that. See, I'm already forgetting to do it. Just tuck that under there like that. Lovely. And then just need a ribbon rather than a star or anything. We've got a star on the next one. So fine, this. So if you're posting your cards, you know, if you use some ribbons, they're so thick you have to hand them to somebody rather than post them. But this one, lovely and fine. We'll be using it again. Is that too big? Fraction. And I'm going to put that on the glue dot. Okay, and there you have card number 1. So not an awful lot of stamping, just the sentiment and the presents, and the rest was designer series paper and die cutting. But I am loving the colour scheme. So that's card 1. Right, moving on to card 2. This is kind of a bit more traditional for me, but it still looks different. Now on this one, this tree is garden green, which matches the background, but I actually don't, I don't know, I looked at it and I thought that doesn't do anything for me. So when we do this one, my tree is Pretty Peacock, which goes with the designer series paper, and we'll see at the end if we prefer it. Now this is where we're doing the embossing, so I'm going to do that first. I do need my Versamark. I'm just going to do that first so that we get that out of the way, and then we can put the rest of the card together. Again, it's predominantly designer series paper. The only things that are die cut is the base, which I've done in silver this time, so you might be able to see the weave a bit more in there. Beautiful. The tree, and I've cut the second largest label of the countryside corners and run it through the Snowflake 3D embossing folder. Again, I'm not sure you can see with the light. Maybe there you can see. Okay. Right, so what I'm doing, let's get everything ready before we start. I'm embossing the We Wish You, oh, it's a bit wet. We Wish You a Merry Christmas, which fits into the tree. Now, I think when I did that one, I actually did the big tree and cut it down. But as I've already got this one cut, I'll do my best to get it in the right place. Right, so I'm just going to use my embossing buddy, part of the additions kit, which is in the annual catalogue. I'm going to get my pot ready, and I'm doing it in silver. Let's put that in there. Okay, here we go. Wish me luck. Give it a good coverage. Might need to re-ink my Versamark pad. Okay, so it is designed to fit. It's just that this tree. Okay, hopefully, let's cover that up. Get the silver on it really quickly. Hopefully, I've got it. I think I might have done. Okay, I'll sort that out later. I'm just going to move that to somewhere safe, out of the way. And these tweezers come with the additions kit, and they are amazing. I think they've got like an enamel bits at the end so they don't get hot. And they've got my heat gun, which is all caught up. I love this. I love this bit where hopefully you'll be able to see it change. It's just starting to go now. You see that? I just think it's lovely. Every time, I've done this for a long time now, and every time I see that, it just makes me happy. Oh, I've just slightly missed the S off Christmas, but that's okay. All in all, that's not too bad. But I think the way I did it last time was I die cut a bigger tree, and then just cut the bottom off, because you've got various dies. It's actually really clever, this set. So you have the big, there's a tag. Okay, you have the big tree. This is the biggest one. Then you have the next biggest, then another one, and then that's just the top. So you can. There is a card that I'll be showing you later. I'll be posting on my blog, which I cased from somebody, another demonstrator. They're top demonstrators. Oh, there's one there as well. Is that the one we're using for the? Yes, that's the one we're using for the last project. And then you've got the tag, you've got stars, you've got ornaments, you've got the lights. It's a really super set. and it comes in a bundle with the stamp set, and you get 10% off if you buy them as a bundle. So it is a good offer. And I have to say, I do love the stars. The stars that I did last week, I'll probably my most of my Christmas cards will be this set, the stars, and the very cute. But a lot of people don't like really cute Christmas cards. So right, okay, so put that to one side, and we can start putting it together now. And I just cleaned it. Let's get the stamp set out of the way. Where is that not sticking? Come on, stick. Okay, so I've got a real red card base, and this is 22.5 centimeters long by 10.5 wide, and I scored it at 7.5. This, as I said, was the countryside corners, and this is a bit of white for your message. I think I'm actually going to put that in now because the designer series paper. So with this card, we are using the inside and the outside for decorating purposes, because you actually see this part of the card. So this is going to be where you'd write your message, put your sentiment, whatever. Okay. And then it's this. There's 2 bits of designer series paper. So this is the bit for the front, and that is 6.8 by 7, which gives you a little bit of a frame. And this one is 7.5 by 10. So it just goes slightly under the fold and over to the white. So we'll pop that one in first. And then I've got a strip. So this is the one that's got the pretty peacock backing. Which way actually have it? Let's have it that way. No, let's have it. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. So again, I'm going to have a little bit of a frame of the real red at the edge. Try and get it straight. There we go. And it's just a fraction overlapping. And then I've got this. This is also the Walk in the Forest paper, and that is 2 centimeters by 10. Now, you could have it so that it is overlapping the 2, and therefore when you've got that, it shows. But I don't actually like that, so I'm going to keep mine on the basic white, and it's just like a little highlighter. I don't know about you, but if you haven't got much to say, you just want to, if you're doing hundreds of cards and you just want to put your to and from and love and whatever, you don't need an awful lot of space. So you've got that there, and it's not visible. Right, let's put this bit on the front. So this bit is the 6.8 by 10. And I'm going to do the berries. Well, actually, it doesn't make much difference. I kind of wanted the berries to show, but as they're top and bottom, they will. And again, I'm going to try and get an equal, just eyeballing it to try and get an equal frame. There we go. And then we've got our countryside corners, which covers it up. So just need to line it up so that it's in the middle. And I'm just going to put a pencil mark. Whoops. I'll try and hold that. I put a pencil mark just under there. Okay, so that's where I can go up to with my adhesive. I'm actually doing it on the back, so the embossing is not affecting it. You have the majority. That's it that way. Okay, let's line that up. So and that's roughly in the middle. Just turn over, push that down. There we go. And then we're just going to decorate. So that's going on with dimensionals. Oh, that's the little dimensionals. Big ones, please. Lost my, how are we doing for time? think we're okay, because the next project might take a little bit longer. It involves making a box, punching, stamping and decorating. So, you know, not much to do. Putting that over the middle, and then I'm going to take my pretty peacock tree with "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." And a mini one right at the top. Don't worry, I'm going to put them in my bowl. Not my bowl, my little pot. Touch wood, it's pretty full actually, which saves me dropping them on the floor as well. Okay, "We wish you a Merry Christmas." Oh, I like that. Now, I haven't done any gemstones or anything, because with it's quite busy, this card, and then with the embossing, I don't think you really need it, but we do need a ribbon at the bottom. I lied, this isn't the one with the star, it's the box with the star. But I do have a couple of other cards to show you from the online retreat that I did, and the one that I cased. I really enjoyed doing it, but it's busy. It's a lot of work, and for a Facebook Friday, it's not Facebook Friday, what am I talking about? It's Friday with Fiona. It would take too long. I would just literally do the one card in the hour. So I will share it with you on my blog, but no, that's too big. I need it much, much smaller than that. That's better. Okay. So I just need to trim this ribbon down again. That's better. Feels like a bit like netting actually. A long time ago, I did an evening dress and I had a net petticoat underneath, and that's how kind of how it feels. I used to always ladder my tights. It was a nightmare. Right, another glue dot. Make some space. I'm going to need some space in a minute. Get that out of the way. That out of the way. And that's card 2. So on this one we've got Garden Green, and this one we've got Pretty Peacock. And inside I've done a much wider strip. I personally prefer the narrower strip, and I think I definitely prefer the Pretty Peacock. I'm not sure there's enough Garden Green kind of to link with that, but I would love to know what you think. I really would love to know what you think, so let me know. Okay, woohoo! I'm so looking forward to this. Okay, right, don't look. Be with you in a second. This is what we're making next. I don't know if you can see. It's I don't know how I can show you. Okay, hold on, let me put me back in. It's a candle holder with, so it's a box with a lid and then a tea light inside, and you have 3 windows. Hang on, where is the camera? 3 windows, 1, 2, 3, and then you have your message on side 4, and then I've just decorated, whoops, where is it? Decorated the lid. Right, let me get rid of me again. Okay, so that is what we're going to make. Let me just turn the candle off, and I'll show you the one that Brenda Quintana designed. Is this one. This hasn't got a candle in it at the moment. It's in there. I have got if you spend £30 in my store and use the host code, you'll qualify for the kit. and I will include everything except the stamped images, including the tea lights. I've got a whole stock of them. So this one was the very cute with the bears on top, and just Christmas is better together, and it's beautiful, but I wanted to have a go at this one. So I've used shaded spruce on this one, which I absolutely love, and unfortunately I didn't realise I didn't have very much of it. I need to put an order in. So I've prepped with garden green. Oh, I wonder what that noise was. We probably couldn't hear it. Right, so, and oh, this is what I was doing with the lemon lolly as lights for here, for my tree. And then I've done a star in lemon lolly, again with the adhesive sheets on the back, and then that's a bit of wild wheat because it looks like the gold. So there we go. Okay. Let's see how I go. So I have got everything ready. I'll give you the measurements, but as I said, if you spend £30 in my online store, you will get the kit and everything you need to make it. There's also vellum. So the first bit you need, oh, where's the instructions gone? No, that's not it. Oh, lordy. Lost my instructions. Right, let me get them up on my iPad. I just want to be able to give you the measurements. I could have sworn I'd converted them into no, that's not that. That's a different box. Okay. Hold the line, caller, please. This is where I take all my notes. Nope. Nope. Okay, so I've got the instructions, and I'm apologise that I haven't got them in. I'm pretty sure I had converted them all, but who knows where they are. No. Okay, so I don't want to waste any more time, so I'll give it to you in inches. Oh, I could just measure it, couldn't I? That would be easiest. Okay, so this piece of card is 27.4 by 7.9, and then it's scored at, I think that might be, there's my inches. Yeah, it's scored at 1/4 of an inch, which in centimetres is 0.6. And then each of these rectangles is 6.7. So it's 27.3, scored at 0.6, 7.3, 14, 20.1. Okay, and then if you, with my bone folder, just make sure that your score lines are all given a good. Now, when I did my original one, I punched the bear and kind of just eyeballed it. But what I discovered with this one, because I'm going to have to die cut it, I've actually got a small one. So I lined it up No, that's too big. Right, let's get, I'm going to need to get my little cut and emboss machine down. And the one I need is this one. What I discovered is when I was making my original one, once you've done one, you can then fold it over and kind of line up where your next one needs to go. So let's just get the mini cut and emboss machine out. So if you use the starter kit, you can get, this is still on sale on the online exclusives. I think it's 59. So that's an option. The white one is 62. Seems a bit weird that it's more expensive. Okay, let's move it up so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to do the first one because I've actually drawn where it needs to go, and then I'll show you how I lined up the others. And it's going to have a base and a lid. So I tried to make sure that it was literally, whoa, that didn't work, did it? Let's do it this way. I'm going to push all that through and start. There we go. So I've drawn where that needs to go. I need to. So I didn't want to do this bit in advance because I wanted to show you how it works. Right, come on, why are you not going through? I know, let's put a bit of tape on it. I know I don't have to worry about it constantly. This is low tack tape, so it should peel off. Just put it on my skin, make it even more low tack. There we go. Come on. There we go. Right, so this is the first one. Okay, and once you've done that, you can fold it over. So you're only going to do 3 of them, okay? And then you're keeping one for your message. So you really want it where you can fold it over. So this one, let's fold that down like that. We'll fold over. Oh no, I'm doing it the wrong way. Right, let me move that out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to fold it back on itself, okay? So this is number 2. And all I'm going to do is put a dot at the top and a little squiggle there. See that? So I've marked where it's going to go. So get my plates. So I've got number 1 there. Might need to rub some pencil marks out. Got number 2. So I'm going to line up number 2 where my pencil marks are. Okay, let's put that. Why is it not going through? How weird is that? I've never had this problem before. Just turn that around the other way. In fact, let's turn all the plates so the numbers are facing the same way. Yes, goes through straight away. Just got to have the plates lined up the right way. Okay, that's number 2. So then you end up with lots of little trees that you can use for other cards or tags or whatever, which is great. Number 2. And then if I fold that one over, so I'm folding it back on itself, which is the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. Get my pencil, just mark the top again and the bottom. And then I can just about see that mark. So this is our last one for the candle to glow through. Whoops, it's alive. Okay, plate number 2. Right, I'll put that to one side for the time being. And I've got another tree. Right. I'm just going to pop this away because I don't want to lose it. There we go. Okay, so now I've got my, and that's the flap that I'm going to, in fact what I'm going to do is I'm just going to miter that fraction. But before I join that up, what I've got to do is put some vellum on there. And the vellum is 6.5 centimeters by 7.7 centimeters, and it should kind of fit perfectly into the little box. So I'm going to actually use Seal Plus. I know the candles don't get hot, but just to make sure that the vellum doesn't come off. So I'm going to go round the edge of my vellum. I don't think there's a right or wrong side really. I'm trying to keep close to the edge. Not succeeding, but right, so let's put that on number 1. Yeah, I think I've managed to, there's a fraction there, but that's okay. I can probably buff that out later. There's just a tiny bit of glue there. Let's just put that back in. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so number 1. Whoops. Getting close to the edge now. By the time I do the 3rd one, it should be perfect. Isn't that always the way? Right, okay, number 2. And you're not going to see the inside because the lid's going to be on, so it doesn't matter that the glue shows through. No, that's not the edge. I think that might be a problem, but hopefully if I can get this one right to the edge, I can move it over a bit. No, it's better that way. It's obviously not quite centered. I think that's okay actually. I thought that was going to show, but I don't think it is. Okay, so from there you've got that. Now trying to stamp on that would be really, really tricky. So what I did was I took my, Brenda didn't do this in hers, but I just thought it would be a nice addition. I took this tree, which is when you use the stamp set, you stamp the base in whatever colour you want, and then you stamp, this is kind of like to give it a bit of definition. Oh, why is that not sticking? Anyway, so this is garden green, not my favourite colour by any stretch of the imagination. Let's put these away. I'm not going to be using them. I have to order some shaded spruce. I love shaded spruce. And the only time I use it is Christmas, and I run out of it. Okay, so how much do I need? I'm going to just make sure I've got just enough on the block. Right, so I'm only really going to use those 3 there. It's just that I don't want to get ink everywhere. So what I'm doing is I'm stamping on the inside of the vellum. And then that's what you see on the other side, okay? It's not perfect because of the size of the tree, but it just gives it a little bit of, I don't know, something. I like it anyway. Number 2. And the other reason for doing it on the inside is because with vellum, it takes a bit longer to dry. And we're working on the other side, so that's fine. It shouldn't get affected. Not quite done with the stamping, so I'll keep that out. Just going to quickly clean my stamp. See, the green hasn't stained it at all. It must obviously be colours that have a red pigment to them, but I've noticed Night of Navy's been doing it lately. I think one of the trees that I'm going to show you, yeah, one of the other cards I'll show you at the end, has used that in full size. Right, so now see, it is still drying. What I'll do is I'll put that to one side while we do the base and the lid. So this is I've got some lights there, I don't want to lose those. This square is 10 by 10, and it's scored on all 4 sides at 1.5. Just get my snips, make some room. Yeah, I seem to be getting a lot of stuff. Right, so I'm just going to snip and slightly mitre. And it just helps when you're mitered the wrong way then, when you're putting the box together. So they're absolutely identical, the base and the lid, but you do put them together slightly differently, so I'll show you that in a second. I've just realised I haven't used my bone folder on the line, so I'll just finish cutting these and do that. Where's my little pot? It's really useful, this little pot. Who knew chocolate mousse could be so useful? Right, bone folder, so let's do these. And the other one I'll do before I cut. And I'm going to need my pegs because I'll be using wet glue. I love using pegs to try help them. So let's cut the other one. Oh, that said I was going to do my lines first. There we go. Right. Now I'm going to use wet glue for this bit. Hopefully I've got one that's got, I've got one that's nearly empty, but I think I've got a new one out, so I can use that one. Right. I need my wet glue. Right. So all I'm going to do first of all is glue. Not get my silicone mat. 2 tabs. Not sure if I'm in picture. Am I on screen? No, I'm not. Right, okay. Just show you what I'm doing. And it, if you haven't used this, using pegs, any size pegs, I've got some lovely little ones that came with the kit. It just means you don't have to sit and hold it. You can move on to the next bit. So this is the lid. Okay, so I'm just gluing it as normal on all 4 tabs. And the base we do slightly differently. Right, so go in, pull up. Get the pegs. Right, that's the lid. Let's see how that's going. It's still wet, but I think I'm going to have to risk it. Okay, let's. Didn't seem to smudge, so that's okay. So I'm going to glue it together. So one of my lights started flickering then, but hopefully not. Right, then I'm going to. I think it is flickering actually. Fold it over like that, and then fold that one over like that, and push it down. And I'm not. Oh, I think I might have put too much on. I don't want to. Yeah, let me wipe some of that off. I don't want it to go on the vellum that's right next to it. And the same thing, I can just pop a peg at the top and a peg at the bottom and give that a minute to dry. And the great thing about the silicone mat is that will dry where I've wiped the excess off, and then I can just wash it off. Oh, look, finding green bits in my pot. Okay, I'm going to need that glue in a minute. Whilst I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to decorate. We need that to do the base. So I'm just going to decorate my lid. So I've got 2 strips that are the same width basically as that. So that should be, I haven't got enough detail there. It's 1 point. I'm in my own light. It's a nightmare. Right, let's try and do it here at the top. 1.5 actually. So then this should be 1.5 as well, which it is. Okay, so I'm just going to go around with some wet glue. I'm going to start it halfway along one of them and then go right along there. And I will tell you what this paper is. I'll have to get the pack out, I can't remember. It's all foiled. There's, I think there might be a plaid, tartan to us, plaid. The Americans call it plaid. Right now I need a good fold there, so I'm just going to pinch it and pull it along there. And I'm going to pop a peg on that end. peg on there and a peg on there. I love my pegs. What can I say? This is a new bottle, so it's very juicy. Okay, then I need to pull that tight along. So it's, you're not seeing any of the green. It's covering, it's the same width. I'm running out of pegs. There we go. One there. I have got more, but let's get them out ready. Okay. A bit more glue, but not. I'm going to try not put so much on this time. More pegs. Now I need to take that one out because this one should then, oh no, it's not long enough. Okay, I can sort that out in a second. I must have miscut. So presumably that's going to be the same on the other one. Right, I need to get the paper out anyway. Oh, that's probably why it's not 12 inches anymore. There's a smaller bit. Okay, so I'll probably need it, the other one will be exactly the same. So what I'm going to do, so how long is this? Is seven. I'm going to do 7 centimeters. It's actually 1.6 centimeters wide. So 1.6. Right, I'm going to have to use my trimmer. Let's just move these out of the way. I'll trim it on. So now you can see what happens when things don't go to plan. So it's 1.6. By 7 centimeters. Okay, great. I've got 2 bits because I'm going to need it for the bottom bit as well. Oh, did I tell you what the paper was called? No, I don't think I did. I'm sorry for overrunning. Joyful. It's called Joyful Designer Specialty Designer Series Paper 12 by 12, and you get 8 sheets, 2 each of 4 designs, and they are single-sided. You can see that. Right. Okay, my things should be dry now, so we can crack on. So with this one, this is the lid. All I need to do is put a piece over there to hide the join. while that's drying, and we'll do the base in a minute, I'm going to show you how to do that. So that should be dry now. Yes, it is. Okay. So you can see we've got 3 trees and 1 blank side. Okay. And that's where my sentiment's going to go. Now with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue 2 of the tabs as we did before. I need to put not so much glue on, I think, because it's really a bit too much coming out. Come on. Get my peg in there just for a second and then it should set. Oh, it's raining again. Hey ho. Okay, so this time, when I'm just going to wait for those for a second to dry. It won't take long to decorate it. Right, that should be enough. Now, what I'm going to do now is put glue along the bottom. Hang on, let me just make sure you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put glue along the bottom of my box on 3 sides. And then I'm going to bring my, I need to get my other silicone mat, I think it's too wet. Bring my base in. Now I can't use pegs for this because it's a box. I'm just going around each side. Let's get it to stick to the back first, I think, and then we can do the sides. Okay, stick to the back. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't stick to the back, the sides, as long as it sticks to the front and the back. So I've done that. Let's try and see if it will now. And then we'll get the front bit and the tabs. I need to push the tabs down. On both sides. There we go. So I'm just holding it for a second. And so it's glued at the back, and I'm going to glue it at the front. And as I said, it's not too important about the sides as long as it stays in place. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to do the same thing with what I'll do this time now. I think I might put this bit down first on my base. No, I'll do the same, I'll cover it up. I can't use my pegs this time. I'm going to have to hold it. But we should be finished soon. And hopefully you are enjoying this project. And if you're watching the replay, I'd love to know and just do #replay or whatever, just to let me know that you've watched it later on. That would be great. Right, so let's just do some glue here. It's really weird. I love green. Green is probably my favourite colour. It comes from my nan. She loves green. But garden green, which is what I'm using now, it just does nothing for me whatsoever. Whereas shaded spruce, I love, absolutely love. Actually thinking about it, I could have used Mossy Meadow, but I have a lot of garden green. I guess it's because I don't like it. I don't use it. So I know, Anne, you don't like blues. How are you on greens? In fact, I am going to make a lot of these for Christmas to give to friends and family. But I'm just thinking, I said to you earlier, I've seen some with pinks and purples, and I think that's what I'm going to do next. And see what that looks like. So if I do that, I will share it with you. So all I'm doing is like pinching at the corners to get a crease, because if you try and score beforehand, you can never get it exact. And then this is where we've got our slight gap. So I'm just going to pinch that. In fact, it's smaller than the other one. That's weird. Anyway, just need to trim this one down, I think, actually. Missed my pot. I missed the pot. Oh, that sounds not very nice. Okay, that can go over there. Something is flickering, unless it's my imagination. Just put the glue on this bit. I deliberately did it on this side because it is a side. I didn't really want it where the sentiment's going to be. I've got a bit of excess glue, but that's okay. I can manage that. And for the other bits, probably use. Right. So that's our box. Get my candle out. Okay. So now we just need to decorate the lid. Let's get rid of all these pegs. It's going to go around with my bum folder. So I die cut one of the stylish shapes squares in the same designer series paper, and I'm just going to lay that flat. Okay, and then I have my tree, and I have my star. This is turning into a really long Friday with Fiona. I do apologise. You can just miss the bits you don't want to see. And then I'm going to pop that. So that was adhesive sheet I just pulled off the backing, and pop that onto my wild wheat. And that's going to go on my star, on my tree, sorry. Right, so need to do my lights. So I'm going to do the same thing. I don't need as many lights, obviously, because it's that one. Can you see that one? I've got a bit carried away. But I'm not going to waste time. I'm just going to do it really quickly. So I'll start at the top. I'll just leave it like that to save time. And then that's going to go on with dimensionals. Oh, just using 2 for speed. And then my star can have a mini dimensional. And there you go. And the only thing that I haven't done, which I don't want to make you sit and wait, is to stamp the "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" onto the white one, and that will go on the back there as a sentiment. Then that will be the back there. But I won't make you watch and see that. The only difference is that we're not embossing it this time. Okay, guys, I'm sorry it took so long. I really hope you like this project. I think it is super. I really love it. As I said, I'm going to be making quite a lot of them over the next few months. I can see the light just coming through. Next week will be Christmas Classics, the dies, and the Designer Series paper. I can't remember what one it is, but it will be. So 2:30 next Friday. Don't forget, you've only got until the 31st to take advantage of the super starter kit and join the most amazing community of people. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I do apologise for taking so long. Bye.